So, let's talk about transforming pain into joy by just accepting our emotions. It's all about that moment of clarity when you just allow what you're feeling to be there without any
Yeah,
judgment.
exactly. It's almost surprising, isn't it? How a morning on a yoga mat just sitting with ourselves can, completely shift our perspective.
Exactly, and it's fascinating. It's like when you stop labeling your emotions as bad, they lose that heavy grip on you.
You're right.
It's like every emotion becomes a teacher, um, not an enemy.
Right. And, um, there's this idea about our inner critic too, the part that judges our feelings. How do you see that playing into this whole acceptance process?
Well, it's like consider the inner critic as just another part of our internal family. It's not there to condemn us, but to sort of protect us from past hurts.
Yeah.
Instead of fighting that part, we work with it. It's all about embracing every facet of ourselves with gentle curiosity.
Hmm. That's a pretty radical shift, isn't it? Instead of telling yourself to, push away those negative thoughts, you actually sit with them. Yeah.
I get that skeptical vibe, but think about it. When you're not fighting your feelings, you're not fueling them with extra shame. It's like if you stop judging, the intensity of the pain just fades a bit, and you begin to see hints of peace and even joy.
Okay. So, you're saying that by not resisting our emotions, we allow ourselves to experience them fully, which then opens the door to healing?
Exactly. It's sort of like acknowledging that every part of us, even the uncomfortable bits, is valuable. In fact, in internal family systems, we say there are no bad parts, just parts that need our care and
That's
compassion.
powerful. I like that perspective. But, one thing I wonder is, how practical is it for everyday life? I mean, isn't it a bit idealistic to just, accept every emotion when you're feeling overwhelmed?
That's a great point. And it's definitely not an instant fix. It takes daily practice. Imagine it like starting your day by asking yourself a simple set of questions when emotions arise. What part of me is feeling this way? What does it need? And how can I offer kindness to that part?
Right, that makes sense.
Very much like a quick personal check-in.
So it's a bit like, having a conversation with yourself, almost like treating your inner critic as a friend whose concerns you want to understand instead of banishing them.
Exactly. It's about building a relationship with all parts of yourself. And the idea is that instead of shaming or fighting those emotions, you're actually welcoming them. That's where the magic happens, transforming that pain into a kind of gentle wisdom that leads to genuine happiness.
I really dig that. Kind of like, letting go of the battle and just riding the, wave of your emotions, letting them guide you instead of drag you down, right?
Yeah, it's like when you stop gripping the oar so tight, you let the current take you to a calmer place. It's not about ignoring the pain. Oh no, but understanding it. Sure, it doesn't happen overnight, but those moments of clarity, like on a quiet spring morning, can really shift your whole day.
It does seem almost counterintuitive at first. I mean, our society, constantly teaches us to suppress negativity, but this approach flips that idea on its head by, um, embracing all emotions and learning from them. Yeah.
Right, that's the twist. Instead of thinking some emotions are bad and should be fixed or erased, we see that they each have a purpose. For example, that lingering sadness might be holding space for unprocessed grief, and instead of shunning it, you let it speak to you.
Exactly. And what about those parts that pop up when we get into new, maybe vulnerable situations, like starting a new relationship? They often stir up insecurity or fear.
Oh, totally. Those parts are there too, as you know. They might be trying to protect us by reminding us of past hurts, but by acknowledging them, we can better navigate those feelings. And this approach really encourages you to befriend your inner critic rather than let it rule you.
Right, that's so key. That makes a lot of sense. It's like, if you simply allow your emotions to be, you can transform what might seem like pain into a deeper kind of joy because you're not battling yourself all the time.
Exactly, and that joy isn't some superficial happiness. It's this a deep-rooted, genuine joy that comes from living wholeheartedly, accepting every piece of you. And it's all about that self-compassion and self-love.
Powerful stuff. I've also noticed that a lot of people resonate with these ideas when they join supportive circles or, even some free webinars that delve into these practices? Do you think that's a helpful step?
Absolutely. Resources like webinars or even one-on-one coaching are great. They offer practical tools, like taking a pause to ask those 3 simple questions when your emotions rise. It's not just theory. It's a daily practice that redefines your relationship with yourself.
Yeah, totally. It's interesting because this idea of radical self-acceptance really challenges our old beliefs about good and bad emotions. I mean, isn't that a bit too idealistic in some cases?
Well, I can see where you're coming from. But here's the thing, by challenging that binary thinking, you're not denying the reality of pain. You're just meeting it with kindness rather than, harsh judgment. It's not about denying a negative experience. It's about allowing it to exist while you acknowledge the good that can come from it.
I follow. And it really ties back to that idea of self-compassion as the core of healing and transformation. By being curious about our emotions, whether they're seen as positive or negative, we really open up the door to wholehearted living, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. When you shift your perspective to see every emotion as just a part of your rich inner landscape, it becomes possible to experience life with a truly open heart. And that, my friend,
Yeah,
is where
totally.
freedom begins.
So, in a way, this is a call to, a new way of living, where instead of a constant battle with our feelings, we choose to honor them, learn from them, and ultimately transform them.
Exactly, which is why practices like mindfulness and friendly self-dialogue are so important. They give us that little moment of pause, a clarity break, to understand what our feelings are really trying to tell us.
Exactly. And it's really encouraging to know that even when we struggle with our inner critic, there are practical steps to, soothe it with kindness rather than criticism.
Right on, it's not about silencing that voice completely, but rather understanding its concerns. And when you do that, you discover that it often holds a key message about your deeper needs, like a little roadmap to self-care.
That's such a neat way to put it. Before we wrap up, any simple tool you'd suggest for someone ready to start embracing their emotions today?
Sure, I'd say just begin by slowing down. When you notice a challenging emotion, ask yourself, if this feeling were a part of me, what is it trying to communicate? What does it need? And then, with gentle curiosity, offer that part your compassion.
Yes, that's a solid tip. Wow, that sounds like a manageable step. It really demystifies the whole process of, self-acceptance.
Indeed, it does. Remember, it's not about having everything sorted out from the start, but rather showing up for yourself each day. A little bit of kindness here and there really adds up over time.
Absolutely. I love how this conversation brings together deep, transformative ideas with such practical tools. It makes the journey of embracing every part of ourselves seem, more accessible and, totally doable.
Right. And when you start applying these practices, you open up the space for genuine joy to flourish. Every part of you deserves that acceptance, and in that act lies the essence of, true
Yeah,
healing.
that's beautifully said. Thanks for this conversation. It really shines a light on how transformative embracing our emotions can be. It's, quite inspiring, don't you think?
Absolutely. Embracing our emotions, even the painful ones, can literally, turn our lives around. And it's not just about survival. It's about living a life filled with genuine happiness, self-compassion, and, well, wholehearted living.
Indeed. So here's to exploring, understanding, and ultimately transforming our inner world. One honest, unfiltered emotion at a time. Thanks for sharing these insights.
Thanks to you too. Let's keep this dialogue alive and remind ourselves every day that by accepting who we are fully, we can indeed transform pain into joy.
Yeah, absolutely. And to everyone listening, remember to give yourself the gift of kindness and embrace every part of you. Until next time, keep on nurturing that inner light.
Exactly. Thanks for joining in this heartfelt conversation on the magic of accepting our emotions. Take care, everyone.